stream. We're live now. Okay, and then I'm gonna switch over on my end to the, whoops, didn't mean to do that, the TV. Can't really hear anything. Oh, yes I can. It's just really quiet. Okay, hello Bryce, how's it going? I'm here with, hold on a second. I'm here with Drake Chandler.
What's up?
We're gonna play Tales of Xillia. Drake, do you want to let people know why it is that you wanted to choose this game?
Well, I think when it comes to any RPG series that I've kind of chose to dedicate myself to the most, it's probably been the Tales games.
Oh, nice.
I think that they're really 50-50 when you pick one up, and so there's definitely some ones I don't like, but there's other ones I really do too. And Xillia is kind of one of my favorites, and it's the one that sort of got me back into the series after I had like put it down for a bunch of years. When I had played Tales of Symphonia 2. And so, you know, when I was getting kind of thirsty for JRPGs again, Xillia was sort of the game that brought me back.
You know, I haven't beaten this game, but I kind of had the same experience where, like, I really liked Tales of Fantasia and Tales of Symphonia, and then I just didn't like a lot of the games that were coming out after that. And then I heard about this one being really good, and I tried it, and it was like, you know, I actually really do like this game. So it's interesting. I have a save file on here already. Do you want to start from the beginning, or
No, we can jump in from where your save left off.
Okay. Because I've played the beginning of this game, I think, 3 times. So, yeah, I'm like level 11. It's still pretty early in the game. But it's like 5 hours in. So, it'd be cool if I could continue from where I left off.
Yeah, it sounds good to me too. I don't really have much to add when it comes to the beginning of the game.
Okay.
Like I think the intro is kind of strong and it gets to the point really fast.
Yeah.
But that's all I really have to say about it right now.
Okay, it's probably going to be a bit of an adjustment to remember the mechanics, remember what the F I was doing. Let's see, is there like a thing that tells you where you are in the story?
The event list probably might. I know that you can use the event list basically as a way to keep track of main mission quests and the side quests in the game.
Okay. So this is all stuff I've done, so we need to head to Nia Kara, I guess.
But Nia Kara is the city that you're in right now, so...
Oh.
Yeah, that's like that whole town. So I think maybe go into the building behind you, because this shrine is like Xillia's shrine, because if you remember, she's supposed to be like Xillia Maxwell, the god of just this entire world, and
right.
yeah, and like her shrine is right there at the top of that hill. I don't remember if this is where you're supposed to be right now.
I think I had just done a scene in here, if I'm not mistaken.
So then you should like head back.
Maybe I need to go back down, because I remember there was something with her in here, but I don't remember what. Okay, let's recap the story real quick. So he was a medical student.
Yeah.
And the doctor was like out for the day, so he was like trying to like basically fulfill all of the doctor's appointments. And then he got done with that, and then like he heard, was it that he heard the doctor was somewhere and he was trying to go find out where it was, but it was like locked down, like they had like military guys there, like you can't come in here.
Yeah.
And then he met
it was sort of by accident.
Xillia.
He had some kind of slip and like it blew out of his hand, went into the river, but then Xillia kind of made like that like little walking bridge over the water that he was able to step onto, and
yeah,
when it disappeared behind him, he couldn't get back to land.
And so then he goes in with her. They're
Through
infiltrating. They find out a bunch of messed up stuff that they're doing.
Yeah, he finds his professor is like in that little tube, and he gets killed, uh, and yeah, there's some sick experiments going on people in there.
And then Milla loses her powers to some extent, right? Like,
Yeah, like there's like a big cannon being developed, and so she uses like the extent of her powers and the four spirits that were servants to her, like they all kind of like sacrifice themselves to sort of disable this thing. And so Mila's kind of weak right now, and it's going to take like a long time for the servants to develop again. And right now you're kind of traveling with her because both Mila and Jude have been branded as terrorists. And
yeah,
so
they had to get on a boat and sail away, and that's what the other character, the other guy, came in, right? He was helping us get away.
Yes.
And then yeah, we came here. I don't remember why we came here though.
This is Mila's hometown. This is where she stays.
Okay.
So like that little shrine building is like her domain. And then yeah, I don't remember what cutscene was in there, but it's probably your best interest to head back to town now.
Okay. I kind of want to remember how to fight. Is it? Whoa. Yeah, there we go. Can I pause? Okay. Because I've been playing Tales of Berseria, which is different.
Yes.
X. Okay. Y brings, or not X. Triangle brings that up. And let's see. From here we go to escape, equipment, arts.
If you go to arts, you should be able to see what you have them mapped to. So it should say what button does what, I think. So it's like standing circle is your Cerberus strike, and up circle forward, that kind of thing.
Okay.
I think it's circle that does the arts.
Then we have. Is it the right stick?
Yeah, the right stick has its own input. Those are more arts you can do. The funny thing about the right stick is that you can set it to be anybody's arts. So even though Jude's will just be mapped to the circle button, the right stick can be anyone's you want to use in your entire party.
Okay. So if I just do circle, it'll do that up and circle, right or left circle, and down circle. So I have like basically 4 or possibly up to 8.
Yeah.
Things. So I'd have to hit up on the right stick and then press circle. That's really tough. I mean,
no, just the right stick. No circle.
Oh, I don't press circle with these. Just the stick.
Just the stick.
Okay. Let's try that. So I gotta press the right stick with that.
And then the gauge on your left is the link gauge. So when you do like an art, I guess it's a little weird to explain, but there's certain arts that you can give whatever character you're playing as, and if it has the ability to sort of produce a link art with whatever character you're linked with, it'll do a more powerful art after that. I just forget what button it is. I think it's one of the shoulder buttons, either like L1 or R1.
It was coming up there. It was like on top of my character. I was supposed to press something to start the sequence, right?
Yes. Also, because you had filled the bar up all the way, you were gonna be like in the link state, which allows you to just use a whole bunch of link arts. So if you go back to the arts menu, there should be some way to figure out what arts you can use that'll produce other link arts. Like if you go to R2, it says it right there at the bottom.
Oh, so they'll do these together. So if I do Demon Fist... Oh, that's a different guy. So if I do Demon Fist while in that art mode over, she'll do Wind Lance and we'll make Final Gale.
Yeah. You don't need to. You don't need to worry about what the AI is gonna do. Just do Demon Fist and then, and then hit either or. Yeah, it'll happen on its own. Just as long as you're hitting either L1 or R1, or maybe even RL2 and R2. I really don't remember which button.
Onward. Attack. This is
Oh, wait, what? Why is he not doing it? Oh, it's X. Or 2 or 1.
No, X is the basic attack, and then you're gonna do the art with circle, and then you'll follow it up with any of the.
Oh, so X is just a standard attack.
Yeah, and X is just your standard basic attack.
Oh, because I have no freaking MP. That's why I wasn't able to do anything. My MP is like 6 right now, so that's why I wasn't performing arts when I was pressing circle.
Yeah, you're gonna have to do a lot of basic attacks to build MP back up.
Okay.
There's items to build MP up too, but I'd never actually ever really used items in this game. They're sort of useless to me.
So you just press this, and once attack, and you'll build up. Build up.
Yeah, so you have the little number that's on the right side of your little HUD at the bottom that goes down every time you hit X. That's how many attacks you can do, like in a certain combo. And over time throughout the game, you can as you level up and develop more skills, those will add, those numbers will add up, and so you can start making just really, really long combos. Like I remember when I was getting near end game, I was doing like 11, 13 hits at once. Yeah.
Can I use the arts outside of battle? Like the healer one?
Which one are you talking about?
Can I use arts outside of battle to heal?
I think so.
I'm not sure how.
I wouldn't remember.
Let's see. We got Dude Guy here and David. Both saying that that game was okay, didn't like certain aspects of it.
Yeah, I know this game's like maybe not like a go-to favorite for everybody, but it's still one of mine.
Did you play the second one?
The Tales of Xillia 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
Really?
Yes. You get a new main character, which is standard for Tales sequels. That's not really my problem, but it's like they force you to play with him all the time, so you don't really get any like customization with your party all that much, because in this game you can play with any 4 characters you want, but with Tales of Xillia 2, he always has to be in the party no matter what. So it's always just Luger and then like your additional 3, which I really didn't like. And then the story would always get interrupted because for like story reasons within the game, Luger gets put in like this like massive debt. So there will be instances in the game where the story will just stop and like halt in its tracks, and then characters will be like, hey, now's a good time to go pay off your debt, so let's go do a bunch of side quests until we say that you're done, and then we can continue the story. And it was just really annoying.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah. Also, Luger was a silent protagonist in Tales of Xillia 2, and it really just didn't fit the Tales formula whatsoever. I thought it was actually a big detriment to the story.
That's too bad.
Dude Magai saying that Alvin was his favorite character to use in this game, and while he wasn't my favorite to play with, Alvin is like one of my favorite RPG characters ever, really. Just in like I think he's like such a good character. So is Elise in this game. Like those two really make it for me.
I've made my decision
a lot.
This guy I'm talking to, right?
Well, actually, your OBS screen froze on me, so I can't see what you're doing.
Oh, really?
So I've just been talking, but
Oh, I almost forgot.
but
We still need to pay you.
but yeah, no, if he's the guy in the trench coat, then
Oh shoot!
I ran into some hayseed.
It
He said he'd
is.
pay
Oh
it.
wait, no, that's
One of the villagers?
Yep. He was all, thank you for looking after Lord Maxwell, and you saved our spirit.
That sounds like the Elder.
How about now?
He
Do you
shouldn't
see it
have
now?
offered. Alvin,
movie?
I'll pay you myself.
No,
You need to
it
know how to
hasn't
reach your people, Mueller.
updated or
That
changed
old
yet.
man
Here,
was
let
tickled
me
pink to pay your
stop
debt.
sharing on straight again.
You'd crush him if you refused.
You think so?
I know so. Anyway, he told me to wait here for him.
Okay.
And that was ages ago,
Good
though.
sharing again. Is it fixed?
Not sure what's holding him up.
He's still in the village,
It's
right?
loading for
Most
a
likely.
second.
We should
but-
find him.
Don't forget to take care of anything you want while I'm still around. Once I get my
It's
reward,
like
I'm out of here.
it's really, really choppy.
Really?
Yeah, like super bad.
That has never been an issue with Skype before. That was a huge issue with Discord, but I mean, even now it's really choppy. Are you watching it on your phone or are you watching it on a desktop?
No, I'm doing the desktop, but you know, like I said before, also as well, I'm kind of doing this over the web browser since I didn't want to like install Skype again.
Oh yeah.
But I might have to. I'll start installing it in the background, and
Okay.
we'll see if that makes it better.
Well, if it doesn't, we can try Discord again. But I mean, the one time I was trying it, it was kind of the same thing. It was running at like 5 FPS. Just really wasn't working.
Yeah,
So,
I get it.
Anyways, we'll try whatever we need to do. But in the meantime, let me just like run around this town and figure out where I'm supposed to go.
Did they say anything in the cutscene?
Well, I was kind of distracted trying to figure out what was going on, so
Yeah.
I didn't really pay attention to what they were talking.
Yeah, Duma Guy says it's fine for him on YouTube, so maybe, I mean, I can just keep talking and just kind of deal with like the delay a little bit, if I have to.
Yeah, at least until we figure out when you get Skype installed, or if we're gonna do Discord or whatever.
Hmm.
But I mean, the delay on YouTube is about 25 to 30 seconds, so
I know, it's pretty big.
it's gonna be like, yeah, it's not really gonna work to commentate on what we're seeing right now if we have to wait a long time. So,
Well, as long as I can get a general sense of your location, I'm okay with it at the moment. But yeah, it's installing right now.
okay. Yeah, so I'm back in the town here, and I'm just walking around. I wonder if this updated. I'm gonna go look at the events. Receive your reward from the Elder at the meeting place. He was inside of one of these buildings, wasn't he?
Man, I don't know why Skype's being so retarded.
The meeting place. Is that up here? Ivar's house. Go into that one. Hold on, I gotta put this good. Is this one over here? Assembly Hall. Shareable rest. Here we go. I think I found him.
Lord Maxwell, and your companions, forgive me for making you wait.
Worry not.
Oops.
Yes, yes. The villagers all pitched in and collected a small fund ages ago. It's the least we can do to help you, Lord Maxwell. You hear farmers, not fighters, after all.
I see.
Told you.
I appreciate everything you've done for me. So my debt is paid. Thank you for everything.
Yeah.
Alright, I
thanks.
think everything
was
should
fun.
be looking
See you around.
good.
Okay. I think Alvin's leading our party now that we paid him.
And
As soon as
just
the
like
scene's
that,
over, we'll
he's
reconnect
gone.
on Skype.
That's a mercenary for you.
Yeah,
I
alright.
suppose.
Let me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hang up on the browser and then just
Lady
call you
Mila.
back on the app.
Okay.
Will you be departing again?
Yes. Look after the village.
But I would rather accompany you. I wouldn't dare leave your holy care in the hands of this blasphemous, uncouth, shifty, backstabbing stranger.
Ivor, tell me again of your duty.
My duty? Why, it is to serve you, Lady Mila.
And what of your other duty?
What the? Where is this coming from? I can't see it.
To protect the people of
Here
Niakara.
on the main screen?
Those who can't protect themselves.
Exactly.
Okay, hello?
And now you see why
Yeah.
Jude shall accompany me
Alright.
on this journey.
Sharing again, let me know how it looks.
While you fulfill your second duty.
But Lady Mila, you wouldn't have lost the great spirits if not
Oh yeah,
for
that's
him.
smoother.
No.
Smoother?
The fault was mine and mine
Yeah,
alone.
I think the
Indeed, if Jude hadn't
I
been
think the app thing actually really mattered.
I might never have returned
Okay.
safely to Niakara.
Thanks. I'm only
Yeah, the
trying
way
to
this
help.
looks way better.
But Lady
Good.
Mila!
The matter is not open to debate. Will you abandon your duty to this village?
No.
Then let's be off, Jude. I hope they haven't closed off the Sea Haven.
So does that mean we'll be passing through Hamil again on the way?
Yeah, so Ivor is
Yes.
kind of
that's not a
annoys
bad
me.
idea.
Really? Is that
But
okay?
I
Give us
don't
a
find
chance
very
to
many
check
people
up on
annoying in this game,
Rashigal's
but
activity
Ivor's
here in
sort of one of them.
If we're lucky,
It's very clingy
we
to
might even
Xillia.
find a way to sneak into Fenmont.
Gotcha. We'll stop by Hamil then.
Something else I'll say is when you look at like your event list, and
Thank
and it has like the sub events on there.
Yeah.
When it says like sub events are
Mila,
active, like
Please,
those
return
can be
to
like
us
a mix
safely.
between both like side quests and just like and missable cutscenes that kind of like add to the story a little bit. So typically when like a character kind of has like a little voice box that's like shows up in the corner being like, oh, you know, something I can do right now, it's like you should probably go do it.
Okay.
Because I think those scenes actually do help add a lot to just kind of like exploring the characters.
So we should obtain an insect husk.
Well, something like that I think is a side quest, but yeah, typically, you know, when someone says like there's something you can go do, I would just suggest to get it done real quick.
Okay.
But something that like sounds like a side quest to me, so I mean, I don't care if you want to go pursue that or not. I don't know where the insect husk is at.
It's a very good question. It probably would have been on the way up here, I guess, because I think I got the quest before going up here. But
I don't know who
actually,
gave it to you either.
type of item would it be? No, I do. I have 21 insect husks.
Yeah, so you got loads. I think there should be typically people with like green exclamation marks above their heads. That's like whoever is like an active NPC that you can kind of interact with for a side quest.
Hmm.
They might not even be in this town too. They could have been like in the last town you were in, since since like the game knew you were
So
coming
it
this way and stuff like that.
It doesn't give you information. Bring it to a believer.
Believer in
Nia
Niakara. Yeah. So it's someone there.
So someone in here. Like this person. Oh, this is a new one.
Yeah, it's new.
I should have one already, right?
I would think so.
Okay, so if I did find one, would you just talk to me or would you just give it to him?
Yeah, you would do it on your own if you could. I would say these ones aren't so important. I think I kind of remember pretty well off the top of my head, like what stuff is worth seeing and what isn't.
Okay, this is the person that wanted the insect husks. Yep. Do you get anything for that? Like, do you get experience? Do you get rewards?
I saw what you got. It was just cosmetic items. I will say that I actually really do like the cosmetic sort of editing in this game. It's way more in depth than you would think. It's kind of funny. Just how much it lets you do. Not for these ones, I think, but if you go down to like the two at the bottom that sort of have like a different icon on them.
These two here.
Maybe. Yeah. I know for some items like you can edit their placement. Yeah, like how it says, I think, rotate, like edit attachment. Like yeah, the start button. It's crazy just what you can do.
What
the yeah.
What the freak?
And then when you like select all that, like you can like change like what axis it's on and like you know via like X, Y, and Z axis, and you can change the size of it and the color, and it's crazy. There's no reason why like this customization is like so in depth in this game, but it's just something you can.
Absurd.
It's just something you can do.
What the F? That's crazy.
No game does this, and I love it.
What the? Oh wait, can I zoom in? Is there a way to zoom in on the character?
Yeah, character display, like I think.
Oh wow, it's way off of his face.
Yeah. I think you can zoom in with triangle. I think that's what it's there
It's
for.
not even on his head anymore. What? I have no idea what I'm doing. Enlarge. There we go.
Like, if you want to back out of it, be my guest. But I know that when I was bored, I spent a lot of time in here just making random things.
That's crazy. So he could just walk around with glasses hanging off his face like this?
Yes, he will.
What? No. Okay. So now he'll just have glasses like flying off his head? Where'd they go?
Well, I don't think you saved the changes. If you save the changes though, but yeah, they would just be floating there, even in cutscenes, because the cutscenes still use the in-game image. They would just be floating around.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
That's freaking funny. Let's see real quick. I don't know what I was doing this for. In case I wanted to go back and capture footage, I guess. Just do a new one.
I thought it was just your habit of just making like new saves the whole time.
I do that. I do that a lot. So that I can go back to any part of the game I want.
So, that woman is supposed to be Maxwell? And you claim she has lost her powers, Pressa?
Yes.
If she's already hidden the key somewhere, we could have a problem.
The fault is mine. I underestimated them. I apologize.
If I'd only known that woman was Maxwell, I would have forced her to reveal the key's whereabouts.
No matter. It is in our best interest to let her wander freely for now.
Yes. Let her attract the attention of Rashigal, while we quietly put all the pieces in place.
Any word from Agria?
She says they appear to have decided
yeah,
to
so
key
kind of when I was like deciding on what game I kind of wanted to have you play, like I was thinking to myself, it was either gonna like fall down between either like Tales of Symphonia 2 or Tales of Xillia, because it's like I'm a big defender of like Tales of Symphonia 2, but and I know it has like a really bad reputation. I like the game, and I mean, you know, and of course I have my reasons for liking it, but what kind of like made me decide to like not pick it was that it's definitely one of the more anime-ish kind of Tales games in presentation. So I was like, I'm not gonna put through that. So I was like, it's like here are some characters that don't fall into tropes nearly as badly.
Well, I appreciate that. You thought of me. That means a lot. Yeah, I really liked the first Symphonia, so I never played the second. I just heard a lot of bad stuff about it.
I was mulling over our options. What if we can't take a boat straight
But I
to
did
Fenlon?
want to try it out at some point.
Yeah, no, I like it because I think it's just a really kind of smaller scale personal story to the main character of that game.
Yeah.
And I really do like sort of like the effects that the ending of the first game had on like the way the world had changed, and why like a lot of people kind of saw it as like a bad thing. Sort of like everything Lloyd and his crew did. It was just a really sort of interesting twist and concept.
Good to have you back.
And so I kind of got into it. Yeah, but you know, but Emil, like the main character, he's really shy and timid, and that can be pretty annoying. The love interest in the game, I forget her name right now, but you know, she's like super clingy.
Just in case.
And you know, I was like, yeah, it's.
Shall we go?
It feels a little waifu-y in like the way she kind of behaves. So.
All right, we got the world map. Press R3. Take a look at the world map. Only return to locations you've already been to. Sweet. Depending on where you are in the story, you may not always be able to visit. Okay. Let's take a look at it. Okay. So, Hamel, that's where we're going next, right?
Possibly, I would think. Yeah, I should probably be paying closer attention to these cutscenes too.
I think that's where it said in the event list. It said head to Hamel. So, okay.
Alright.
Oh, then we press this.
Yeah, and then the skits.
I don't get it.
Alright, so the thing I gotta say about this is I love just the presentation of these skits in like in the older Tales games compared to the way to Cesteria and Berseria do it. Like I think there is so much more expression in just these little boxes and the way they animate and what they like get them to do and stuff like that, rather than just the stills that are in Berseria. Like
I can't remember what they looked like in Berseria. How does it work in that one?
Well, sort of you saw how like Alvin was kind of like almost like his like full portrait in that one skate. Like that's everybody, and so yeah, and so it's just the characters kind of standing around in different positions, occasionally changing like maybe like the depth of view a little bit just to kind of, you know, bring whoever's talking to like the foreground. But like I think it really lacks like the charm and the animation kind of put into like the little boxes as they move, and so like when you know when a character gets excited they bounce up and down, or like that, you know, like when Alvin laughed, like it jiggled a little bit, and like you just don't see that.
You don't want to tell me?
Interesting.
You don't want to ask?
So they're all done kind of like Alvin is right there.
I'm starting to think you're probably right.
Berseria.
Yeah, like it's supposed to be seen as like an improvement, but I don't like it.
Liqueur out of these.
I thought the boxes were way more expressive.
Yeah, I've played through, I want to say like probably 10 or 12 hours of Berseria, but I literally like will take like a month break and then come back to it, and then take a month break. And I hardly ever remember anything from it.
Don't go looking up.
I don't think Berseria has a good story. I don't like it. Personally, I really do actually kind of consider Tales of Xillia to be the last good Tales game, in my opinion.
How many have come out since this?
Hearts R came out for the Vita, and that one's actually like pretty just outright terrible. It actually has my favorite combat system of any Tales game, but I can't play a game for very long if I don't like the story and characters.
Right.
So, so I put it down. And then Zestiria and Berseria came out after that for the PS3 and PS4. And yeah, it's just Zestiria, I also don't like. I like the characters a little bit. They're kind of funny and charming, but that's all like the game really has going for it. Is just like it's just nice little sense of adventure, but actually the story is like actually got some pretty big plot holes in it, and the combat just sucks. Like it's just really, really bad. And then Berseria made the combat smoother, but once again, like I just really don't. I just don't like.
I don't like the combat in Berseria. I do not like the combat at all. To me, it was like, I mean, I understand you can like customize the buttons and like, you know, create all the combos and stuff, but I just saw no need. I just like press random buttons and win all the time.
Yeah, no, Berseria was super easy to me. I don't know if when you were playing it, I don't know what difficulty you were on, but I know when I started the game, I started on like the highest difficulty it would allow me, and then the game was still so easy that it gave me a prompt to unlock the harder difficulty that was even above that, and I did, and I was still breezing through it. It's really dumb. But Zestiria was even worse than that. Like if you don't like Berseria's combat, then you will just hate Zestiria. It's awful. And the item management in both games is just terrible too. Like you'll just have these clusterfucked menus of just equipment that you're never using.
I remember that from Berseria.
She was like a completely different
Dude, McGuy says
person.
the best combat for him in Tails game is Grace's F.
I can understand that. Yeah, no Tails game really plays like the way Grace's did. It's a unique case, and it was a lot of fun.
Gotcha. Thank you.
I liked the combat pretty well in Symphonia. I wonder why they've changed it so much since then.
I don't know either. I don't think the Tails games really needed to change, but they just did.
Yeah.
I think they're waiting around because they want you to go talk to the girl that ran off.
You ran this way, right?
Yeah.
Into the shed.
Probably into the basement.
No. That just leaves, right?
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Oh, camera.
Hey, can we talk? Don't worry, I won't hurt you. Hi there. We've met once before, right?
Hey!
Yeah, I agree with Dude McGuy that Symphonia's combat kind of feels dated to me now. I remember when I was playing it when it got re-released on the PlayStation 3, and it was really hard to adjust getting back into it.
Nice
Oh,
to
really?
meet ya.
Yeah, I felt so. I thought so.
Nice to meet you too. Both
It's
of you.
been many, many years since I played it.
Are you okay?
But anyways, so the character on screen right now is Elise. Like she's
My name's
like
Jude.
my other favorite character in the game.
Thanks for helping us out before.
She kind of has like her annoying talking doll thing,
So what
and
exactly happened? Can you tell me?
I do think it's not really like a great staple of the Tales games to sort of have like an annoying little mascot, kind of like how Berseria has like that tiny little
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
thing, yeah, with the top hat. But Tipo, like the little doll that she carries around, he
The big guy up
stopped
Buddy of
being
yours
annoying, I think, at a point. Like there's a really good kind of story reason for why he's around that is a really good one to me. Yeah, so it's like you got to put up with him for a little bit, but I think it pays off what he's there for.
Oh, sorry. Are the two of you waiting for friends here or something?
Friends? We don't have any.
No friends.
Well, you do now.
Huh? Oh. Well, hey! Jude is our pal!
Mind if I tell my friends about you, Elise?
Why?
I don't like the way the villagers here treat you. I want to ask my friends if there's anything we can do.
Sure, why not? Jude's our pal. We can trust him. Right, Ellie?
I guess some other stuff I can sort of say about it, about the game, is I remember when it first came out, I saw kind of like people sort of like when I was looking at game facts and stuff like that, on those kind of forums say like they didn't really like understand why Jude was like the main character of the story, and
really?
it sort of reminded me of sort of like that kind of like Titus effect in Final Fantasy X, where some people say like Yuna should be the main character, but it's like sort of like how I think like Titus had his reasons to be the main character of that game, since he was kind of like the motivator to change everyone's minds.
Yeah.
Jude here like made sense to me because he's like he's kind of running around with you know, with the rest of the group, because you know, he legitimately did kind of, you know, stumble into something he didn't see or shouldn't have seen, and then, you know, he got branded as a terrorist, so it's like he has nowhere to go. It's not like he can just like stay home or just, you know, or just have people ignore him. And so it's like, and so I can kind of understand why he's here, and, you know, why the story is kind of being told in his perspective, since, you know, he's kind of the you know, the guy sort of, he's sort of like the fish out of water right now.
Yeah.
The villagers do
going out on this world adventure.
I don't know what other people would have wanted. Would they have wanted to play as Mila through that first sequence, like just like remove Jude and just make it like from her perspective?
when he's around, and the villagers treat her
I mean, you do have the option at the beginning of the game for...
That's right.
Yeah, you do, but the thing is I do think that Mila's story, or at least when you see things from her perspective, which there's only like a very small handful of scenes where they split up, but even when you do get those moments, like they're not, like Jude's scenes are just better, like every one of them. Like he just sees more, experiences more, develops more. He just has far more satisfying scenes than Mila does, and I don't like Mila's side of the campaign whatsoever.
Remember what I told you at the falls.
That's interesting.
Be yourself. And do
so
what
if
you
I
have
had
to
chosen
do.
Mila's
That's what I
path,
said to you.
would she be the one going and doing this right now?
Those
Like
words
she'd
still
be go
apply.
collecting this
Can I
other
assume your
character we
decision
just
to
got
bring
and
the
stuff?
girl is just another step in your path? That it will help you
Or
find
does it
the
play out
answer
the
you
same way?
seek?
I think it still plays out the same way. It just like skips to like the next scene, so it's like
Tell Elise she's coming.
Jude goes, yeah, he just shows up with her. Like this is the thing that I did.
I gotcha.
That was nice of you.
She won't affect my mission. If she slows me down or gets herself in trouble, I'll just leave her behind. My intent from the beginning was to do this alone after all.
Yeah, it's as Dude Magai is saying, Tipo is like actually an interesting mascot character, but it's too spoilery to explain why.
What a beautiful view. I bet if I yelled really loud, it would echo back.
So why not try it? You gotta do things like that while you're still young. When you get to be my age, it can get a little embarrassing.
Yeah, all right, why not? Echo!
Echo, 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 echo.
Alvin!
Alvin, 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 Alvin.
And what you're doing now isn't embarrassing?
A little, a little, a little,
Nice.
a little.
Doomy Guy says, I chose Mila on the first playthrough. Jude is definitely the better choice. There's a big section in the middle of the game that you miss if you choose Mila. What the freak? That sucks.
Yeah, it's... You don't want to do it. I know there's even there's a big important moment too in the game, and it's I think that because there's an important scene where it's like if you choose Mila and then you kind of skip this moment. I don't know if it's the same one that Dude McGuy is talking about, but when you get put back in the place of playing as Mila, and it just sort of skips that important cutscene, like you're left like completely out of context as to what just happened, and like things have changed. So I think from seeing people complain that they patched in that scene, even though it's completely from Jude's perspective later, because I recall seeing it, even though like playing from Mila's perspective, even though I remember seeing on the forums before I did that that people were confused because they didn't know what happened.
His temper, but he is quite skilled.
Interesting.
He said he's been serving you for years.
So I mean, I'm not sure, but I think it might have been sort of like something that got patched in later.
Gotcha.
He buys my clothes and arranges them into outfits.
What?
Wow.
Even though I don't know why they would do it exclusively only for the English release, because I know this came out like a while after the Japanese one.
Like them.
So I might just, be spouting bullcrap, but it's something that I sort of
I'm Elise
vaguely
Lucas.
remember based on memory.
Hello.
Yeah.
Well, you look like you'll be a fine lady when you grow up. I'm Alvin. It's nice to meet you.
Well, don't talk to strangers, Elise.
Yeah, kind of like that little gesture where he's gonna go introduce himself, so like his little box gets closer to hers. Like that's nice. It's a nice little touch.
Naturally.
Oh, so
I do like that. It's
Sure looks that way.
yeah, it's a way of being expressive, kind of
I'm
abstract.
arguing with the stuffed animal.
Yeah.
How unusual.
Unusual, she says.
So it's like he
Coming
needs like
from
nudge
you,
nudge
Mila?
to Jude when he says it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's fantastic. I think basically everything the Tales game have tried to do after this have just all been like steps backwards.
That's too bad. Alright, catch a boat from Aldi Sea Haven?
Yeah, so you're just kind of going back the way once you came. Yeah, it's a good thing you got the fast travel now too.
Yeah. Again. Okay. Right. We gotta talk to.
Oh yeah, this chick's gonna want you to go kill some monsters.
Sure. Okay, what are you?
And the other thing is you can actually have side quests expire in this game. Like if you go too far in the story, it'll be like, oh, you took too long to do this thing, so it just got done without you.
Gotcha. Oranges, apples.
Yeah.
Well. Okay. Over there. There.
Yeah, this is
Excuse me. When is the next ship
this
leaving
is
for
the
Fenmont?
story taking you away.
I'm afraid the Rashigal government has blockaded the capital and its surrounding regions. That means all scheduled voyages to Fenmont have been canceled. We apologize for the inconvenience.
So like some of the side quests are kind of like
sorry, ma'am.
better than
the route
others.
to Sapstrath Sea Haven is still open.
Some are kind of like
Would you like a
meaningless
ticket to
tasks,
Sapstrath
and
Sea Haven?
you know, but like the characters in some way, shape, or form typically try to sort of explain why they can't do it.
Very well.
Like I
Please
remember
board
there's
the
a
ship
side
and await
quest where like
departure.
this girl's like, my dad's in the military and he went away to this place where you're going, so like, can you just give him this letter for me? Things like that, like
Yeah.
So it puts a little bit of effort into trying to explain why you're sort of doing just this really small stuff.
That's good. This dove, he just like...
Yeah, a little messenger pigeon.
Oh yeah, he brought it to him. I thought he just like called that bird back and give him something.
Something like that. It's how I keep in touch with someone special from afar. I told her a beautiful woman has appeared in my life.
Hey, I didn't know you were married.
Do I look like the marrying type to you, Mr. Honor Student?
Huh? You mean
Oh, and one of the other things that kind of cracks me up about this game is like the way like
looks like we're about to depart.
it's just the ages of like the characters. I always think it's really dumb, even though I've kind of accepted it. Whenever like Japan tries to kind of get away with, you know, having these characters sort of like do these as like amazing things despite being so young.
Oh right.
Yeah, so like Jude is like graduating with his doctorate degree. You know, that's like that was sort of like where he was at in his life before he kind of got put on this adventure. But he's supposed to be only 15 years old.
Are you serious?
Yeah. And then, but the thing is, though, you look at like Elise right there, and like she's supposed to be 12, but she actually looks and behaves like a 12-year-old.
Yeah.
And
Jude, I would have thought is just the kind of small guy, but he's, you know, in his 20s or something.
You would think, and they never. I think they only ever specify like their age in like one scene, and so it's like I just kind of like ignore it.
Guess she really is mad.
Like when they say it.
Isn't she always like that?
Because I'm like, no, that's not possible.
Well, and sometimes they'll have to like change their ages when they do the localization, right? Just to be able to get away with certain things, because it's like,
come on.
Age of consent is different.
Yeah, well, there's no sexual stuff in this game. There's Mila, you know, she's a little skimmily dressed, and they kind of play it off as like a joke, as if like she wasn't the one who decided on her clothes. It was one of her spirit servants, and they were just kind of doing it as like a joke. So it was like, oh, I heard this was like the latest fashion, so I'm just kind of sticking with it. You know, and Jude kind of tells her like it's not, but she doesn't really care because she's not a human, so she isn't really embarrassed about that kind of stuff.
No. If you really don't know about it,
so like her body to her is just her body, and she's only wearing clothing just to fit in, but it really means nothing to her.
I think
it's sort of it's sort of like an excuse just to kind of get her as skimpily dressed as possible, but it's whatever. Yeah, I accepted it. I was like, this is I've seen worse.
What more can you expect from a Japanese RPG?
You're right. Yeah. Looks like we're almost there.
I wonder how tight Rashigal's security is right now.
But yeah, I've seen a lot worse. But at the same time, I've still seen the other Tales games do better too.
Yeah.
So it's just a small disappointment.
Looks like everyone's.
And you have the alternate costumes too that you can kind of get if you want to put her into something else.
Don't worry, everything will work out.
I did, but it doesn't matter.
Alright. We're arriving at the new place.
Looks like security's not so tight after all.
Soldiers are still patrolling though. We'll have to be careful.
Strange. What changed? They were deploying soldiers across the border to find us before.
Maybe they found something more important to do than chase after us.
I'm not complaining. Let's avoid the soldiers and head to Fenmont.
Right.
Hang in there, Elise. It'll just be a little while longer till we reach the city. Then I'm sure we'll find the perfect person to take you in.
What? But
Wait, did they not discuss that earlier? I actually forget about that. I thought...
Take us in. What the hell are you talking
So basically...
That could have gone better.
I think just kind of like the reason why you have like everyone in your party right now is like, as we already know, like Jude and Mila are just traveling because they have nowhere to go because everyone's looking for them. And then Alvin hasn't explained his reasons as to why he's helping them yet.
Nothing.
So I'll just leave it for when the story does it. And then, yeah, at least they just kind of brought along since she was kind of being bullied in the town, and they were like, oh, well, we'll just drop you off somewhere along the way.
I just didn't remember Jude explaining that to her because she seemed surprised by it, and I kind of was too. I was like, oh, you're going to leave her with someone else? You weren't going to, like, take her with you? Like, oh, crap.
Yeah, I don't remember if they did mention that or
Trust
not
me,
when we were talking over some of the
beds are way
cutscenes.
softer at the inn here than anywhere else.
You focus on the strangest things.
All right. I'm checking in.
Can we really afford to relax like this?
Okay, now... Then mount.
Oh yeah, the Lilium Orb thing, that's how you level up, if you go back to the menu.
Oh, right, I remember. This is kind of like a skill tree sort of thing?
Yeah, you can hit select and it'll just fill out stuff for you. I don't think there's really much of a drawback to it. Like, now that I've played, like, you know, the game before, I kind of know, like, sort of like what stuff I want to go after first, typically when it comes to, like, getting arts, specifically. But even really the good ones aren't really, like, until the later end of the game anyway, so you can kind of just auto-level for a while.
Go up here.
Yeah, and you kind of got, like, you got to make, like, a full kind of...
You gotta go to this one next.
Full little circle to get the stuff in the middle.
Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, so you kind of see how, like...
I have to do this one now. And then I'll get that one.
Yeah, and then... Well, you ran out of GP, which is the points you expend. But if you were to spend it on, like, that TP node, then that would fill that portion of the web, and then the two little ones in the middle...
Oh, both of them will get activated.
Yeah.
I see, because I don't have the bottom of this yet. Oh, okay. Okay, that makes sense. So, in this case, just get to this one. I don't get that one in the middle. And same here. Expand it. I've got a bunch with him. Let's see.
Yeah, whenever characters leave your party in this game, like they'll come back to your party as like whatever your lowest level character that currently in your party is, and then then they'll get all the GP's worth of that scaling as well.
Gotcha.
So no one ever really falls behind.
All right.
If I remember correctly, this is sort of the guy that tells you that there are like special monsters that run around in the world, and they're really high level like endgame monsters, but if you kill them, then you get the ultimate weapons for each character. Yeah, so they kind of like so each one's carrying like the strongest weapon for like a specific character.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but they're not really like in your way at any point in the story, so you kind of have to sort of like go out of your way looking for them.
Okay.
So yeah, you probably won't notice them at any point. Yeah, he just goes on and on.
Nice. Okay.
Okay, this should do. My Lilium orb is coming along nicely.
She always knows exactly what to pick. How I envy that.
Okay, so we're over here. We want to go to Finmont. We just came into there. Trying to go there. Okay.
So when skits show up, I actually think the ones that kind of trigger sub-events, will actually, they'll be labeled. So like that one says main, I think, if I can read it correctly, something like that. Yeah, so there'll be, so they're color-coded too. So there'll be ones that are white, I think, that are the sub-event ones. And then the green ones are just kind of like little extra ones that don't really matter much. But all of them are still kind of just a little fun to watch.
Looks like our wanted poster is making the rounds at the Sea Haven.
Does this sort of thing actually work?
You tore it down?
Yes, but I can't imagine a poster like this will give us any trouble. Do humans have a different sense of aesthetics than I do?
Well, anyway, Mila tore it down, so we should be safe here, right?
That'll never work. Keep tearing them down and they'll keep putting them right back up.
Mila?
It's nothing. Alvin's right. Even with this terrible likeness, we can't afford to take chances. We should move on.
All right.
Given enough time, they might manage to make a replacement key as well. We need to hurry.
Okay.
A military checkpoint.
I knew things were too easy.
What'll we do?
Well, hey! What's over yonder?
That's the Deepwood.
If we can hike our way through there, we'll come out right near Sherrilton.
Then our path is clear.
It won't be easy going. What about Elise?
You knew she'd face risks on this journey.
I'm fine. Really. I can go with you. Don't argue, you guys. You're pals, remember?
Elise.
The girl has agreed, so this matter is no longer open to debate.
Sweet. That means she can fight with us yet.
You have to open up the menu, but yeah, I don't think just yet.
So the cooking mechanic in the Tales games, it's kind of like a staple, right?
Yeah, it's been a staple, but it's never something you have to do.
Yeah, I've always not done it in all the Tales games.
Yeah, they're just little buffs. There is a trophy associated to like eating like a certain amount of food. Yeah, so you're kind of it's about to go away, but like you being in that glowing state, like you can keep using link arts again and again and again and just chain them together to make just this super long chain while you have that meter.
Just keep pressing R2 basically?
Well, like a direction and R2. So basically, like think about what arts, or like what link arts you have, and then it'll take some experimenting, but like you'll kind of figure out like which ones sort of chain into which other one's the best.
Gotcha.
Because you can actually kind of like drop enemies out of your link arts. So you always want to make sure that like the next one you're gonna use is gonna reach. Since some of them either like can drop certain enemies or knock them into the air or push them away, kind of stuff like that. So you always want to know. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'll have to experiment with that when we stream again tomorrow. Right there is probably a good place to stop for today. So tomorrow we're gonna start earlier. I just was having trouble setting up the PS3 for recording today. For the rest of the week, we'll be starting at 5 o'clock Mountain Time, and I will post that on Patreon for everybody, so in case they're interested. Or actually, well, I don't know if I will. But I am going to post a update video on Patreon for everybody, so stay tuned for that. And podcast tomorrow. So if you guys want to ask me questions, I will put up. I'm literally going to go to Patreon right now, put another thing up there. So if anybody has any podcast questions, let us know. In any case, I'll see you tomorrow, 5 o'clock my time, 7 o'clock your time, right?
Yeah.
Okay, man. I will see you then. Have a good day.
All right, cool. You too. Peace.